Hello everybody, it's Gavant. I'm sorry I haven't been airsofting recently. I've been away at college. But I came home today and found my new gun. It is Friday the 28th, 29th, by the way? One of those two. Anyway, and I've been playing with it, and I decided I'd want to show it off to you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to use it Sunday, but we'll see. It's made by a company called Silverback, which up until now I don't think has actually made a gun before. I looked them up, they're pretty small. But I've been messing with this, and I'm so far pretty impressed. It's got a lot of teething problems, it being a brand new gun design at all. But I'm going to show it to you. Alright, yeah, I got the gun, and I got the magazine that came with it, and an extra one. This is the box it came in. It's just foam. It was kind of wrapped up in a shitty cardboard box. And it's got an orange tip, obviously, glued on. But it did come with, in this little pouch right here, the correct flash hider. So, first things first, it is very solidly made. It's good metal. I was actually very impressed with how solid it is. It does have some teething issues, which I'll get to in a minute here. But first of all, the stock release does not work how it does on normal AKs. There's no, you don't flip the tab here or anything. Because you have to lift, you have to push up. I'm going to put this down for a minute. On my head. You have to push up on the stock like so. And right now it's very difficult. There we go. It's got a little wobble, which is honestly to be expected with any airsoft AK with a stock design like this, the 74 model. But you shove a little foam in there and it will be just fine. It's got the Russian sight rail, universal sight rail, so it'll fit anything. On my Cobra sight around here, I haven't tried to put that on yet, but I will in a minute. Yeah, the stock catches on this little nub here. It's got these giant magazines. You see here, they're 160 rounds each. They're mid-caps. They do not fit very well. You're going to have to file them. Fortunately, they're too big, not too small, so you can always do some modifications. Yeah, like I said, this gun, brand new gun design, it's got a lot of teething problems, but most of which are minor and you can fix yourself. The metal is very good quality here. They claimed on the website, I got this from Airsoft Global, that it's all steel construction, except for obviously, yeah, no, it's metal too actually. Yeah, it's all steel construction, and I've been testing it with a magnet, and I know it's kind of hard to probably tell, but everywhere I put this, where there's metal, it's magnetic, especially the vulnerable front sight area. So that's good. This camera does not have like a viewing screen or viewfinder or anything, so I'm hoping I can get something. My camera angle isn't too shitty here. Yeah, I'm actually very impressed. I've already shot it already. It's pretty accurate. The FPS appears to be pretty high. So if you airsoft anywhere in the United States or Illinois, probably the only people watching this are fellow MAG players up here around Chicago, but you might have to tone it down a bit. The magazine is very wide. It has a very comfortable, good grip. Now, however, changing the magazines, like I said, you have to file these things down. Magazine changes are going to be a bit slow. Putting them in isn't so hard. Getting them out is another matter. It just takes practice. But you should get the hang of it. They're mid-caps. You just load them in here with a speed loader. 160 rounds, so about one and a half of the standard ones. I got two of them. Pretty solid. They got some, these end pieces rattle. You can fix that though pretty easily. The manual is actually all in English and is actually legible. It's not in fucking, you know, well, you've seen them. But, yeah. I do have some complaints, however. First of all, the pop-up design does not allow you, because of how long this is here. Hang on a minute. How long this part is, you can't put the hop-up all the way forward. So the hop-up is actually, you can actually, so that's going to take some modification if you want your hop-up to be fully functional. Which might just involve breaking off the end of this here, hoping for the best. But hop-up is plastic. It's got a good rate of fire. One other complaint, though, is how small the battery compartment is. This is my 1200. It's the only battery I've been able to fit in here, because as you can see, the wire on the side does not allow you to put this through the hole like on normal AKs. And that's just an oversight, I guess. But, yeah, so, but you could easily, with the way the cover is designed, you could feed a wire through here and get one of those bags you put on the stock to put a big battery in it, if you feel like doing that. Otherwise, I can barely cram this in here. It's the smallest battery I have. But, yeah, that's my only real complaint. The stock levers, selector lever is a little loose, but everything else is solid. And, oh yeah, it came with this little cool card giving me the serial number. This is the 28th one ever made, apparently, which I thought is pretty cool. And, yeah. Took about, I don't know, less than 2 weeks to get here from Hong Kong, which I thought was pretty decent. The slowest part was actually just sitting with USPS. But, yeah, I'm going to go shoot it for you in a minute here. Like I said, everything's solid. Stock's a little wobbly, but can easily be fixed, and that's honestly to be expected. Magazine changes are a bit slow, but you'll get the hang of it. And, yeah. I like it. Alright. A few things I discovered while I was getting ready to shoot. There was a magnet. Was that the locking pin for the flash hider had burrs on it, so when I pushed it in to turn the flash hider to get it on the gun, it locked in place, and I had to knock out that little silvery pin right there. It comes out the right side. Yeah, I had to knock it out to get the pin out and shit. But, yeah, so I had some burrs on it, and I had to file those down. Another thing I found out is that the universal sight rail is too wide for at least my Cobra sight. So that is about how as far as I was able to get it. Yeah, so if you want to put a sight on, you might be out of luck and might have to buy a new rail. I was actually able to get it on all the way, but it took a lot of forcing and probably put a lot of stress on my... This is not a real one, it's a replica, and probably put a lot of stress on it. So I was able to get it on with a lot of forcing, and it was so tight I didn't need the locking lever even closed at all. And I wouldn't recommend doing that because you might find yourself out of scope. But yeah, so those are those two little discoveries, which were not pleasant. Although that was fixed. That, you can buy rails online. You can probably just get a real one. And it's got screws. You have to take out the gearbox, though. It's got screws on the inside. You just undo it. This pops off, and then you just screw a new one back on with these two screws here. But, yeah. I'm going to go shoot it now. Target is set up. It's about... That circle is about 10 inches across both ways, up and down and left to right. There's one of my dogs. There's the other one. They're stupid. I'm going to put them inside now. I'm going to be shooting from those rocks over there, which is about 60 feet. And we'll see what it can do. When I did shoot it before, I was able to get from those rocks all the way to that fence back there, which is about 200 feet. So that's pretty good. And it was accurate enough that I could hit something, a person out there if I wanted to. Not on semi-auto, but with the stock barrel, stock everything, a good burst, you should be able to hit someone at 200 feet. So that's pretty good. .25. Like I said, I haven't fixed that hop-up yet, so it shoots high. Also, need to align the front, adjust the front sight. But yeah, these are the shoots. The real one, this model, it shoots. The real one shoots 7.62 by 25, 9 by 19, and 9 by 18. And the 9 by 18 has a 64 round magazine count. This is 160. And it fed pretty much all of them the first time I shot it. So we're going to shoot it now. And I'm going to stop talking because you don't want to hear me talk. You want to see what I can do. Alright, so we have our target. It's about 50, 60 feet away. And let's see what it can do. This is the spread at about 50 feet with the stock barrel and hop-up. It's, well, it's pretty good. That circle's about, I think I already said this, but like about 10 inches. It's by those rocks. And yeah, like I said, it's accurate enough to hit people all the way back to that fence with .25s. So that's pretty good. That was with an 8.4 volt that was almost dead. So, yeah. Alright, well, there you have it, the Silverback PP-19 Bizon-2. It's, well, I'm glad I bought it. Shoots nice, solidly built. It's got a few teething problems, like loading it. That tab, you're going to want to cut that off or file that down quite a bit. Big magazines, solid magazines. The magazine size, I think it might be an issue for a lot of people. If you're a Russian milsim guy like me, they will fit in double AK pouches that can fit RPK magazines, just barely. But, I don't know, for you guys who have smaller loadouts or don't do Russian stuff, but want this gun anyway, getting pouches is going to be a bit interesting. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, for anyone who wants to know, PP-19 was invented in the mid-early 1990s. This is obviously the Bizon-2, the second incarnation of it, which is honestly mainly just a few small improvements, a magazine redesign, other things, improvements to the sight, stuff like that. It's not used by the regular Russian military. It is used by, if it's even used at all, it's even debatable, by the MVD and the FSB, so the Federal Security Bureau and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So basically Special Forces, counterterrorism, stuff like that, if it even gets used at all. Anyway, it's a cool gun, pretty unique, based off the AK. It does not take AK magazines, so don't do that stupid thing. Also, this is not a grenade launcher, as you should know by now. A lot of people think it is, and they're stupid. So there you have it. Solid, decently accurate, very high FPS, and that's about it. See you guys out there.